Hi, my name's Rebecca McLaughlin. I'm the physiotherapist with the Red Cell Pain Management Service at St George's. We're just going to run through now some stretches for the whole body that can be really nice to do if you've done a little bit of general movement or exercise, but can also be really helpful and really kind of nourishing for the body to put into your daily routine. So we'll work through some stretches for the whole body together. If you haven't been to our movement group or you're new to stretching, or maybe you haven't been doing anything like this for quite a while, then please do get in touch with us if you've got any questions or concerns, or have a chat with your GP if it's something that might be a bit different for you. So what we're going to do now is start off with movement for the head. So first of all, I'm just going to invite you to allow your chin to just move down towards the chest. I'm going to hold each of our stretches, quite a few breaths, maybe 6 or 7 breaths. Just trying to move to a point that allows us to hold the stretch for quite a while. So not pushing to our absolute limit, just finding a comfortable stretch. And when you're ready, just letting the head ease up, and we're going to tilt the head back, almost as if you're raising your face towards the sun, just feeling the warm rays of the sun. Just pausing there, noticing that you're relaxed and comfortable through the muscles in the face, not clenching the jaw, tensing. If you notice that you are, just try and let that go. And then when you're ready, coming back towards the centre. Then just going to tilt the head towards one side, letting the ear come down towards the shoulders. Again, just pausing there, knowing that sensations can be felt through the neck, the shoulders, sometimes even into the arm. Just holding at the point that feels helpful for you. And when you're ready, coming back towards the centre. Then we're going to think about a similar movement to the other side, but aware that the amount of movement that's available on this side might be different to the other side, and that's absolutely fine. Just move to the point that feels helpful today. Taking a breath. And when you're ready, just easing the head back up towards the centre. And then last movement we'll do for the neck, we're just going to turn. So look over one shoulder, just pausing at the point of a comfortable stretch. Taking a breath. And when you're ready, easing back round, turning the head all the way to the other side, and just holding at the point of a helpful stretch. One more breath, and then we'll ease back towards the centre. So now we're going to do some stretches a little bit more for the shoulders and the top of the back. So first of all, imagining you've got a big beach ball in your arms, just going to hold the beach ball lightly, allowing the shoulder blades to move away from each other, just tilting the head down, opening up through the back of the neck and the shoulders. Taking a breath there. And when you're ready, just letting the beach ball go, opening the arms out, raising the face to the sun again, and taking a breath. And then bringing the arms back towards the centre. Now we'll think about turning through the back. So we're just going to rotate turning through the spine to face one side. Trying to stay quite open through the front of the shoulders and the chest. Taking a breath. And then coming back through the centre, and a similar movement to the other side. Once again noticing that the range of movement might be a little bit different to the opposite side, and that that's really normal. Just taking each movement on its own. And when you're ready, coming back towards the centre. Now we'll think about bending forwards again, but this time rounding through the spine, making a C shape with the spine, and maybe getting a little bit more stretch and movement a bit lower down in the back than when we imagined holding that beach ball. Again, moving to a point where you can continue to breathe comfortably. And then when you're ready, just raising back up, lengthening through the back, and we can just bring the arms behind us and slightly arch back. And then coming back to neutral. We'll think now about arching over towards one side, so it can be helpful to sit a little bit towards the front of your chair to give yourself room if you've got arms on the chair. And this time I'm just going to ease over towards one side. The stretch is really in the side of the body, so it's quite helpful to think about kind of opening up with a big arching kind of movement. Taking a breath. And then when you're ready, easing back towards the centre and doing a similar movement over to the opposite side. If it's difficult to take a comfortable breath, you might want to make that movement just a little bit smaller. The size of the movement really doesn't matter. It's all about moving to the point that feels helpful for you today. And when you're ready, coming back towards the centre. So we'll do one more forward bend now. So we're going to think about rounding through the back, and it might be that pausing somewhere like here is most helpful, or you might think, oh, I think I could ease forwards. So as if you're bringing your body towards your knees, your chest towards your knees. Just pausing there. And when you're ready, slowly starting to ease back up. And you might like to do a canter stretch, opening out through the arms, slightly easing back in the opposite direction. Taking a breath and relaxing down when you're ready. So we'll do a little bit of movement now for the hips and the legs. So we can take hold of the knee in the arms and just bring a little bit of circular movement, small circles to the hips. So I'm using my arms to support the weight of my leg. And I'm just easing my leg around in a circle. Just the size of movement that feels helpful for me. And then I can pause and swap to the other leg. If picking the leg up isn't possible, or it doesn't feel like the most helpful thing today, I can do a similar movement, keeping my toe in contact with the floor and easing the leg round in a circle, and then coming back in the opposite direction. So always aware that the movements can be modified so that they feel like they're helpful for your body in this moment. And when you're ready, just easing that off. So now I'm going to do a movement that's going to bring length to the whole of the back of the leg. So just lengthening the right leg out. I'm going to raise my toes towards the ceiling. This might be plenty, this might be enough of a stretch, or I might feel like I can just ease forward. You may well notice that that stretch increases quite quickly when you bring the body forward. So just moving slowly to find the point that feels helpful for you today. Taking a breath, and then when you're ready, just coming out of that stretch and easing the leg back in. So a similar movement on the other side. I'll just sit slightly to the side so you can see. I'm going to lengthen that leg, and then if it feels helpful, just ease my body forward. It's likely that you feel the stretch anywhere within the length of that straightened leg. Could be up towards the back as well. Still feeling relaxed and comfortable in the rest of the body, just moving to the point that it feels helpful too. And when I'm ready, I just ease back out of that movement. Going to turn in the seat now, this time to try and bring a little bit of stretch towards the front of the thigh. So turning towards one side, I'm going to try and let my knee drop down a little towards the floor. This movement can take a little bit of getting used to, but the more that the knee drops down to the floor, the more likely I am to feel a stretch in the front of the thigh and the front of the hip. If I'm sitting tall, I increase that sense of stretch in the front of the leg. It might be that you can achieve that stretch without the knee pointing right down though, so just finding the range of movement that feels helpful for you. Then I'm going to ease out of that stretch and turn myself round to face the other way. So this time I'm stretching the left leg, the left knee drops down towards the floor, and the stretch is in the front of the thigh. Just taking a breath there. And then easing out of that stretch. We've just got a couple more. We'll this time stick the knees and the thighs together. We're just going to walk the feet away from each other. And this brings the stretch towards the front and the outside of the hips often. And this can sometimes be quite a strong stretch because it's not a movement that we do very often. So just walking the feet out as far as it feels helpful to. Pausing there, taking a breath. And then when you're ready, just slowly walking the feet back together to ease out of that stretch. And then we're going to rotate the hip in the opposite direction. So I'm going to lengthen my left leg, and I'm just going to relax my right leg out and rest my right foot towards my left ankle. If I wanted to increase that stretch, once again, I could just lean forward a little bit, and that would increase the stretch around my hip and thigh. Just rotating the hip out. Just taking a breath there. And when you're ready, just easing that leg back in. And I can swap the legs over. So this time my right leg lengthens out. My left foot rests on my right shin towards my right ankle. My left knee is leaning out towards the side, and I can just ease forward if that feels helpful. Just holding that for a moment. And then when you're ready, just easing that knee back in and bringing the feet back to the floor. And then last movement, we're just going to think about lengthening through the body. So a little bit of choice here. You might want to sit back, point the feet away from you, point the arms up, or it might be nice to feel how wide you can reach across. So we're really focusing on the fingertips and the toes moving away from each other, just bringing length through the body. A couple of nice energising breaths, and then we can relax down, and we've brought a lovely bit of nourishing movement to the whole of the body. Hope you enjoyed that. See you soon. Bye bye.